Hi everyone, Umberto from PlayPauseBe here. Today I want to talk about a very interesting topic. We will explore the reason why analogical tools like the PlayPauseBe Yoga Decks are so powerful when it comes to enhancing your cognitive abilities. And this is extremely important because in a world full of technology, we often forget that our brain doesn't need to stay in front of a screen all the time. And that we are much better off using analogical tools to perform certain tasks, okay? And by the way, there is a lot of science proving this. And this represents also one of the reasons why we decided to create yoga decks, which are analogical tools. We decided to create it in a certain way instead of creating an app. So the first thing we need to consider is that the human brain has evolved over millions of years, primarily to process sensory information used to survive and reproduce, basically. So we didn't really evolve to manage abstract thinking. By the way, abstract thinking consists in conceptualizing and manipulating ideas beyond direct sensory experience. So what happened is that as soon as human society developed, the need of communication and shared understanding became crucial. So we developed tools that enabled us to transition from concrete thinking to abstract thinking, helping our brain think better. So imagine symbols, alphabet, numbers, and obviously analogical tools. And these analogical tools were extremely important because if you think about it, you can have all the symbol, alphabets, and numbers in the world. But if you don't have tools to put down all this information and to work with it, they're useless, right? We can have an alphabet, but if you cannot write and use this alphabet, it's useless. So we need the tools to transfer information from our brain, put it in a sort of concrete form, where we can work with it, okay? Because our abstraction capabilities are by default extremely limited. So analogical tools basically provide a framework to organize and manipulate information. So they allow us as humans to visually and spatially arrange ideas and concepts and relationship, facilitating the recognition of patterns, relationship, and so on, okay? And the more a tool engages our senses, the more it facilitates the comprehension and retention of information. That's why if you want to remember something, writing with pen and paper is so much more effective than typing on a laptop. But let's make an example to show you how bad our brain is in handling abstract thinking. Because it's really bad. So let's talk about visual working memory, which is a very important cognitive system. Its capacity is so limited that it's often referred as the magical number 4. You can Google it. I'm not making this up. And so what is the reason? Is because typically we have the capacity to hold and manipulate around 4 objects or chunk of visual information at the same time in our mind. So if you don't believe me, try to visualize 10 red balls moving at the same time. How did it go? Not easy, is it? This is exactly why, as I said before, our brain has an absolute need to offload information from our mind and put it on a concrete form where you can work with it. So you're thinking about something, you put it on paper, and then you can continue your thought process. So what I'm gonna do now is to make a quick yoga example so that you can understand how these little decks can help you in your practice and in your life as well. So because we study every single little aspect because, for example, there is a reason why we have card of this dimension, we have symbols on the back of the card. So let's make an example within yoga. So let's imagine you want to build a 90-minute yin yoga sequence targeting the lungs and the small intestine meridians. So since your visual working memory it's very bad, it's going to be extremely hard, it's going to be impossible to build a sequence in your head just thinking. You need at least pen and paper, okay? But still, this wouldn't be optimal. Why? because if you really want to be creative, if you really want to create something meaningful in a short amount of time, you need to think in a non-linear manner, and you cannot achieve this writing. Okay, you can achieve this with cards that can be manipulated in a tridimensional space. But that's not all, because we put on the card a huge amount of easy to process information. Okay, so and you can spatially arrange this information. Okay, so you have the meridians, you have the chakras, and symbols, as I said, are much faster to process than words and sentences. Okay, and then there is another very important thing. It's that I've been mentioning for a long time, but I'm gonna explain this from a scientific point of view. So once you move your cards, you play with them, you also have coordination between your hands, eyes, and brain, okay, which are involved in the same task. And this will make you more present, focused, and you get into that mindful flow state very fast, okay? And once you have your cards laid down, the visuals on each cards, okay, the artwork, will act as a gentle reminder, guiding you through the sequence while you keep your mind attuned to the present moment. It's not going to distract you, okay? This is the reason why we didn't make huge cards, because huge cards, big cards, are not practical. They cannot be moved in space in a practical way. And if the writing is too big, while you're practicing, inevitably, you're going to end up reading the cues, and this is going to distract you. So while you practice, it's a good thing that you use the card, as I said, as a gentle reminder of what is coming next. Okay, if you want to read the cues, read it before. So this way, you're gonna be able to focus on your body, on your breath, but still have this reminder, because probably if you just build a sequence, you're not going to remember it by heart. I mean, it's impossible, basically. It's very difficult. So this is something that you cannot attain with any app, with any laptop, with YouTube. You cannot do that, okay? It doesn't work like that. Your brain is not gonna get those benefits. And also, your brain working this way, okay, get in a focused state, in an undistracted state, will improve itself, okay, through neuroplasticity. So the benefits will overflow from your yoga practice to your life, okay? You're going to feel more focused, calm, able to think clearly. So imagine we received a feedback from one of our customers with a severe form of ADHD. And this person wrote us to thank us because using the deck, he got so much benefit in yoga practice, but also in his own life, that it was really mind-blowing. So guys, I mean, this completely changed my life. I can meditate finally. I can practice yoga finally. And I feel better in my own life. So what I recommend, since neuroplasticity takes some time, okay, to kick in, and to give you really long-lasting, established benefits, I recommend you to use the decks for at least 3 times a week, 3-4 times, for 5 to 8 weeks. 8 weeks is better, okay? And you're gonna feel improvements in your daily life. Above all, if you spend a lot of time in front of a laptop or with your mobile phone, so you're gonna feel much better. Another thing I wanted to add, sometimes it's difficult to create a sequence from scratch, right? So that's why we created Floga, we created the guidebooks, and what I wanted to say is that even if you follow Floga, you follow the guidebooks to build some of the sequences, you are going to reap many of these benefits, okay? Because as you navigate through the sequence, from the guidebook to the cards, okay, you are going to be sharply focused on the task at hand, okay? And you're still going to have this eye-brain-hand coordination, okay? To place the cards on near your mat or on your table, whatever. Once you have your card laid down, you're going to have an overview of the sequence, which is very engaging for your brain. You're automatically going to notice if you like the sequence, if you're able to do all the poses, if you want to change something, if you arrange the card in a nice way, okay, in a nice geometrical way. So This will engage your brain, will keep you focused. And as you said before, while you practice, you're going to have this gentle reminder helping you to remember without getting distracted. With all of this, I'm not saying that technology is bad. Absolutely not. We use it every day as well. It's very good for many things, but it's not just as good for others. So, for example, we have very detailed courses teaching all the asanas in our decks. Okay. Obviously, if you need to learn the correct movements of the asanas, a video that you can play, pause, rewind is an incredible tool to accelerate your learning. Above all, if the video follows a certain structure to help you retain this information. But I'm going to talk about this another time. Once you have absorbed that knowledge, once you have internalized it, you don't want to be in front of a screen while you practice. Absolutely not. It's like when you learn driving. After you internalize the movement, you're not going to think, okay, I'm going to move my right foot, I'm going to do like this with my hands, I'm going to, you're going to just to be driving. And also, what we have interesting about driving on the street, we have signs that are just symbols, because they're much faster to process for your brain. Exactly like we did with the PlayPauseBe decks, with the chakras, the benefits, etc. So I'm gonna keep it short because I believe I'm talking a lot. So let me know in the comments or write us if you want me to do other video like this, and try again to use the decks for 3-4 times a week for 5-8 weeks to have these neuroplasticity induced benefits kick in. And we'd love to hear about your experience as well. So feel free to contact us, share in the comments below, or send us the videos. Okay? I wish you a lovely day. Ciao, ciao. And see you in the next video.